What's up, bud?
Yo.
What's up?
Yo, you look menacing with the shaved head. Yeah. Yeah, that's some scary shit, man, with the skull in the background and shit. You are, there's like nice guy Joe, and then there's like, oh, don't fuck with JoJo.
And then there's Chihuahua on the lap, sleeping Joe.
Yeah. And then there's
people.
Then there's, take the Instagram pictures for your wife, Joe. You wear many hats,
Yeah. I have a Chihuahua sleeping very heavily on my arm right now. Oh. So, but if people if they just saw this.
Right.
Yeah.
Pan down and they'd be like, aw, he's a sweetheart. Yeah. See?
I'm telling you, that's the formula.
Yeah. We were just watching some of the trailer of the new movie, Archenemy, and it's wild. It's a wild ride. Homeless, superhero, drug kingpin, getting mixed up with the whole nine. It's a very cool storyline.
Yes, very much. I had a meth coach for the film, actually. So my character, he does some methamphetamines.
Okay.
And so
I thought that was like acting lingo, like you were like
method actor.
Yeah.
No, it's methamphetamine.
No, you meant meth.
Yeah, people are like, what did you do for your workout routine for this? And I'm like, meth.
Crystal. Did that crystal, man. So what did he teach you? What does a meth head teach you about meth?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of coaching, and, we took a look at the script and how much meth am I doing? And then that informed the scenes afterwards, because I'm doing meth, but then it's like I'm driving around in the car, trying to come down, so then it just influences the rest of the film. All of a sudden I start mapping out, well, okay, so he's just been up for 3 days at this point, okay, well, I'll play it like that. And then he came to set and I had him behind the monitor during one kind of the most notorious meth scene in the movie. And he was behind the monitor and I kind of, performed the scene and then look over and he'd, or come over to me and be like, we'd huddle up and he's like, okay.
And is this guy in the business, or is he, does the production company bring him to set? Is this someone you found? How do you find this connection?
He's a comedian. He's a friend of mine. This great comedian named Greg Baldwin, and he's been sober a long time.
Yeah.
But he's still, he knows he put in his 10,000 hours as Malcolm Gladwell.
Listen, I'm an expert still. It's like Jordan doesn't play anymore, but he knows basketball.
That's it. It's the sweet science, baby.
Not to say that you've ever dabbled in methamphetamine, but do you like to party, Joe? Did you have a phase where you were partying?
You like to party? Hey,
you want to get nuts?
You kids want some ice cream? Come on.
I mean, I've always thought that.
What are you doing after this interview, Joe? What are you doing?
Meth.
Want to party?
The jump to meth, or some of the hard stuff is, I just don't get how it happens sometimes. I mean, it's like, it's like some drugs make sense, and then there's you got to cook this up, and it might blow up in the production process. But yeah, I'll also do it.
I get it.
Yeah, you get it.
I think the only reason I've never done meth is no one offered it. That's the only thing preventing me from trying meth. Is that
I think I'd be scared. If someone put meth down right on the table right now, I'd be too scared to do it.
I mean, I'd be scared, but again,
you only live once.
If I had a few beers and someone was like, "Do you want to do meth?" I have it. I'd be like, "All right, fine." Let's give it a try.
You get it. Yeah. You totally get it. No, the thing about the film, and I'm not giving any too much away here, but the character believes that he was from a different dimension.
Right.
So he's kind of like this schizophrenic, homeless meth addict, and you don't know what he believes or doesn't, or what's the story, or and he believes that in methamphetamine there is a trace element of the source of his powers in this other dimension, which makes total sense.
As far as coping mechanisms and lying to yourself, that's a great one. I gotta drink this or smoke this or do this because it might make me a superhero.
Which it does.
Totally.
Yeah,
I
it
think-
technically does.
I don't even think it's like, I don't even think it's up for question. Like,
Listen,
yeah.
you have a
I
few
think
more
everyone
beers.
on meth thinks that.
Well, but everything, you know.
If your superpower is cleaning your house for 18 hours straight.
Then you're the greatest to ever do it. But I mean, you know, if I have a few beers, all of a sudden you're a little looser, you're dancing, you're better at sex, you can fight, you kind of become a superhero.
Yeah, you do meth and you become Superman. Really what it is it's just this crazy sweaty guy in his Superman underoos dancing around in a hotel room by himself.
Yeah.
So there is no supernatural superhero element. It's just a crazy homeless man.
Well, you're not, there's also hallucinations or are they memories? Like there's the storytelling is such where you're not sure what's up and what's down, and the character really isn't sure what's a memory, what isn't. Is this some sort of hallucination? Like, is he? I mean, because you get to the point where no matter who you were, whether it's the drugs or whether you're actually from a different dimension, at some point you're not going to believe.
Right.
You're not going to understand what was the past and what wasn't, and what you've cooked up or what you haven't. And that's the journey of the character and of the viewer watching that.
And do you realize, Joseph, that they're casting this movie and they're like, we need to pick a person who's just so ridiculous that he might be human or he might be a superhero, and they go with you. Like, we need the guy who looks the part, can beat, like, it can be believable that he can beat everybody up and that he's bigger than everyone and shredded. We'll go with Joe.
Well, there's also the side of that conversation that you didn't mention, which is he lives in a tent under a bridge. He looks like he's homeless and he's a complete drunk.
So which is it, you know? Again, you wear many hats.
I just say I think that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, you're pretty cool then, yeah.
You're the
You can
only
do both.
intersection of that Venn diagram. It's like,
I love it.
Yeah, like some fit all of that. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. That's flattering.
Do you believe in, because we've talked in the past when we've done interviews, we've done the Dungeons and Dragons talk, and we've done, I guess that stuff is more far-fetched, but like the supernatural, do you believe in that?
I mean, do I believe in the supernatural? Like, what are you talking about? Like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster? Or are we talking about like...
yeah, there's there's different levels to it.
I think... Oh, man, I mean, okay, so we're getting deep now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think there is such a thing as synchronicity. I think certain people are more sensitive to things than others.
Okay.
Do I think you're dead in your mulch but maybe they're... I think that, it's been shown by data that like when whole cities meditate, the crime levels go down. Like, I think there are things that we can't explain.
Right.
I do believe in those types of things. I think there's an energy like the force that flows through things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can tap into it or be the right place at the right time, or, coincidences can happen that are so crazy that there's no possible way that could have been random. I do believe in all of those things.
But Bigfoot and Loch Ness, no.
No, not so much. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I wish. I think when I was a kid, I really wanted to believe.
Yeah.
it was just, I was going to say, like, what changed your mind? It's
Adult. Maturity.
Yeah.
I developed a brain.
I got hair on my balls. Like,
What about aliens? Where do you fall on that?
I knew this guy who used to book autograph signings for astronauts and everyone else who had ever been to space in history. And he's spoken to all of those people and asked every single one of them, do you think that there's life out there? And they all say, yes, we believe that in the infinity of space, there has to be life somewhere. But none of them believe that they've been to Earth. So take that. I'm sorry to pop the bubble for all the conspiracy theorists, but everyone who's been to space believes that nobody's been here.
Well, what's the? I forget what philosopher or whatever has like the quote where it's like, either we're alone in the world or we're not. Both answers are equally terrifying. I was like, that's
yeah.
pretty good point.
That is a great point. What's worse, that we're just this one speck, nothing else out there? It starts to break my brain a little bit.
The other one is really interesting. If there's no one out there but us,
Nothing.
that's
Why?
fascinating.
Why would that be? My argument is always it's much more logical that in an ever expanding universe there has to be something else. But if not, it's like, well, what the fuck? Why not?
Well, then we're the ones who that really puts the onus on us. Like we need to go down to Hawthorne and start talking to Elon Musk. Like it's our duty.
We gotta
need
go.
to get out there.
We gotta, or not though, or not. It's like if you're just in a giant parking lot and you were told there's nothing on the other side of it, like why even go then? You know. Like if we could,
I think this is a philosophical question.
Yeah,
Yes.
if we could confirm somehow there is absolutely no other life, would you just shut down space travel? And I guess you could still find resources and elements or something, but like, what's really the big search then? What are you gonna find?
Dude, I'm just still stuck on like Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. Like who wins?
That's an interesting question.
Oh yeah.
So
we could probably talk more about that.
Yeah, let's get into the real shit here.
I had a Popeyes for the first time fairly recently. Let's call it 3 to 6 months ago. And I don't think we made a big enough deal about it.
I mean, it was
like
sold out. There were lines around the corner.
It was a humongous deal. It was the only thing the internet talked about. And I still was like, this is underrated.
It's very, very good. Where do you fall, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Man, I love Chick-fil-A, man. I love Polynesian sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I have Popeyes, I'm like, God damn, this is so good.
It's got that bite to it. And
It's
really crispy, you know.
About the special herbs and spices,
Yeah.
man.
But there is a big difference. I think it's almost cheating to not have the spice come from the chicken. All the spice is in the sauce.
Yeah. But also, I don't know if you got the sauce, and I don't care as long as it's in my mouth and my belly. Yeah, okay. If you wanted to compare the chicken, that's one thing. We're comparing the sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean you're right, but I think there's something to be said about making the patty itself spicy.
The chicken, yeah. How about this, Jeff, a guy we work with? We had this argument after hours a couple weeks ago after Friday Night Pints. He was like, "You can't compare the two. They're two different." It's like
the two spicy chicken sandwiches.
they're like the most comparable things that have ever come out of fast food. It's like,
Man, you got listen. Don't give me that.
yeah,
Like,
give me a
make
fucking
it-
answer. Yeah, no cop out.
Pat's or Geno's. Don't screw around. Let's
Right.
go, you know.
Do you-
I actually respect that, being like, "Oh, they're two different." I couldn't possibly.
He made it sound so like we were idiots, and he was like at a higher level, like his palate.
And like, I honestly, I believe it. Sitting here
Yeah.
right now, I'm like, he's too good at fast food.
Maybe.
No, that's like some chicken politician shit.
Yeah,
Like I ain't got time.
Right. Do you sound like you know your way around a fast food sandwich, but also, your physique is such that I would imagine you got to watch what you eat. Are you a cheat day guy? Are you a big diet guy? What does Joe eat?
Well, look, man. I mean, here's the thing. I'm also an actor, so I'm not like.
I love, by the way, you've been doing the twirl on the mustache the whole
Yeah,
time. I love it. You're getting into it, right? Yeah. You got to get the wax out and everything. Yep.
Yeah, well, there's that. Then there's also this,
Pulling the
which
beard.
is like,
yeah.
I get it. Like I get like the philosophers, or
Uh-huh.
like I understand what that's all about.
If you say something even remotely profound while you go like this, it makes it 10 times more smart.
Like if I still played competitive hoops, I would totally be the dude who was like at the free throw line, like, get the ball, 1, 2, 3, dribble, and then go. Like this would be a component, or it'd be like this, and then go.
But you were saying, so you're an actor, so.
Yeah, man. So, it's like, what did I do to train for Archenemy? Like, meth, like nothing, That's the thing. The training is like all of the character study. So, you know what I mean? That's not what this role's about. If you're playing Big Dick Richie and Magic Mike 2, yeah, that's what training is training,
Right.
So there was no, we were in Savannah. There's no Paula Deen fried chicken and Popeyes. Like that's not happening.
Right.
You're not going and eating at all those amazing Southern restaurants. It's me and Kevin Nash at Ruth's Chris. And they're like, "Sir, can I take your order?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have the porterhouse for 2 with the baked potato, or the broccoli." And then she walks away, and Kevin's like, "No, that's for him. I'm gonna have a porterhouse for 2." So, but I mean, I'm also somebody that like my metabolism's so crazy that my body wants to like lean up, so I have to eat everything in sight. I was one of the guys in high school that like, when you're playing sports, you're playing football, you're trying to put the weight on, I'm eating a pint of ice cream at night, in addition to, weight gainer powders and all that kind of stuff. So I'm the kind that has to like, I've got to keep feeding I got to keep eating, or else I will just lean out, which actually is good for something like Archenemy.
Right.
Yeah, I can lean out and look like a guy who's not Superman anymore. He's not supernatural. He's a dude. So yeah, man.
What's your death row meal? Dead man walking, last meal before you hit the chair. What are you eating?
Man, I mean, I would have to say the Permane Brothers sandwich in Pittsburgh. I'd probably try to break my record, which is 3.5. So I'd be like, give me 4. I'm going to go cheesesteak, Genoa salami, probably 2 cheesesteaks, 2 Genoa salamis. Then I want the Red Devil hot sauce. I want that bottle and like a Coke.
Yeah. Bro,
and maybe a Permane Brothers pizza.
You've done 3.5 of those sandwiches?
When I was in training, man, I was like, it was sabotage. I went up to like 250 and went to Pittsburgh and was like, let's see, I was powerlifting, MMA fighting. And like, so I was just crazy, and I went and put down 3.5.
Dude, I think I can eat. I'm an eater. I think I couldn't finish one.
I mean, yeah, those are heavy.
I've only been once. I don't think I finished one.
3.5.
Bro,
Manganiello. You're a savage,
so
dude.
Obscene.
I got to tell you something though. Like, so I've told this story before, but like, I took Sophia back to Permane's because they had just painted my face on the wall. So I took her, I'm like, we got to go, you know, for a guy, this is like
a pinnacle.
This is like a Pittsburgh Oscar. Like, we got to go. I said, but I'm going to warn you, you have to eat the sandwich. You can't take a bite and then put it down. Like, you can't do it because Hillary Clinton had just been through like the year before on her campaign trail and went to go take the pose.
Right.
Like, hey, and then she just went and then put it down and didn't eat it. And it was
do that.
And even when like, Pennsylvania turned red, for the first time in a while, a lot of the talk in Pittsburgh was, well, it's because Hillary didn't eat the sandwich.
And you know what? They might be right.
So I told Sophia, I said, you have to eat the sandwich. You order the sandwich. You got to eat the sandwich. Like, this is my reputation. This is your reputation. This is like a big deal.
And is she the type, like, can she eat? Would she like something like that? Or is she going to have to choke down, Is that not her jam?
Oh, yeah. No, she can eat, but if she doesn't like something, she doesn't like something.
I would imagine. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Like, you're committed. Yeah. And so we went in and she ordered the turkey, which I was like, wait, they have a turkey? They put turkey on it? I was like, unbeknownst to me, so she gets the turkey, does the hot, takes a bite, looks at it, and then boom, again, and just wolf the thing down. And I was like, yes,
that's my woman.
I love you. That was fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, those are the moments that are like, yep, that's my woman. Like, I chose right. Like, that was the best decision of my life, More so than she comes out looking beautiful or anything else. She wolfs down a sandwich like that. It's like, that's my girl.
That is actually very accurate. Like,
right?
Like, yeah, you can be attracted to someone all the time, but when you see someone do something like that, you're like, that's
my heart.
Right.
That's my girl.
It's Indiana Jones, and he's in the village, and they're handing Willie Scott this bowl full of mush, and he's like, you were insulting me, and you were insulting them.
Yep.
Eat the eyeball soup.
Yep.
Eat the snake surprise. Eat the bowl of mush. Yep. Like, you're, and it's one of those where it's like a cultural thing where you're like,
yep.
Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. We're
Yeah,
good.
you hold your breath for a second there, right? All right, we're gonna run through some hypothetical questions for you. We got the answer to the internet here, so we're gonna break them out. These are some of the deepest, darkest questions from all corners of the internet.
Oh. Sorry about that.
We just talked about meth for about 10 minutes, so I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Let's see. All right, well, keeping in the food theme here. If both your arms were gone and you could have 2 kitchen utensils as arms, what would they be?
Oh God. Like the roast beef cutter that's electric. It's like serrated.
Yep. Okay.
Like I'd have one of those, and the other arm kitchen utensil. It'd be kind of dope is to have the the ninja blender. You know what I mean? So I could just like come up to people and be like, I could punch them and it would just be like, through up their face, like,
you just want to murder people.
I was gonna say you want to eradicate faces. I was sitting here thinking like,
I'd be a big fucking knife.
I thought, well, what if I want to have some soup? I want a spoon. It's like I want to rip your face apart with the ninja blender.
It's like, I'm doing the same Raimi. I'm clearly in the same Raimi version.
Yeah. If you could play one video game for the rest of your life, what would it be? One game and one game only.
Oh man. If they did like the new, like if they redid like PlayStation 5, like super expansive online Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I feel like everyone's answer is GTA.
Dude, it's just so
GTA, but I love the Vice City. So
Yeah.
if they modernized the Vice City and gave it the like Grand Theft Auto 5 treatment, probably that or like Red Dead. I think Red Dead.
Dude, Red Dead. Okay, so I've never been much of a video game person. The only game I ever really, really loved was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Where like as a kid, I never did much Sonic and Mario. I had the systems, but it wasn't a huge thing. And then the period when Grand Theft Auto was out, like on like PS2, I think it was, I was severely addicted to video games. But then I kind of fell off it, and I recently bought an Xbox, and I forget why. It was just like Tim Riggins was in a commercial, I think, Taylor Kitsch. I was like, sold. But I got Red Dead Redemption. That game is impossible. I'm just so bad at video games now, I guess. Like,
it passes you by. If you don't use it, you lose it, man.
I couldn't get past. I think like one of the opening missions is like open this door, and I just couldn't do it. I forget exactly what it is, but you're at it's snowing and you're like there's someone's in the bathroom. I forget what it is, but like that's like one of the opening missions, and I played that for like 6 hours and just couldn't beat it. I grabbed
Nintendo Switch, and I loved Zelda. Zelda on Nintendo 64 was like the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm trying to play the new one on the Switch, and I was like, I fucking suck at this game, man. I suck at it now.
I know. What happened to us?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly is almost like sports, where it's like you get out of shape. You can also get out of video game shape, where you just like suck at these things, you know.
But you can't pop an Achilles.
That is true. I'm not gonna have to get surgery from trying to get back in the video game world.
If every time you finished sex, a song played, what song would you want?
Oh my God. What's okay? I'm just going with the first thing that popped in my mind, which is bizarre. But do you remember? Okay, so here it is. I don't know. We're gonna dissect this one, but you remember in Billy Madison?
I love where this is going already. No matter what you say next is gonna be ridiculous. Go ahead.
When he's on the stairway and like Culture Club comes on, it's like
yes. Wow,
that's a great answer. That was like when I was a kid, I saw that scene. That was like the happiest I've ever been. That's a perfect answer for how.
But it's like picture like all of a sudden it's like the way a musical would happen. Like you're just laying on the pillow, arms behind you, and then all of a sudden your eyes open.
I'll tumble for ya.
Yeah,
I'll tumble for ya. I'm pulling it up right here, right now. I mean, it's the happiest like anybody's ever been. It's so good. Hang on, it's coming here. Oh, the 5-minute scene. Come on, YouTube, you're killing me. There's just something so happy about the way he's like, if that's how you really are after sex, Joe, that must have been a good session. You know what I mean?
There it is.
I'll tumble for ya. I love it. How good is that? All right, we'll do one more question here. Where'd it go? I feel like you're a movie guy. Who is your all-time favorite movie villain?
I mean, it has to be Darth Vader.
Yeah, I mean he's on the card. You know, that's the illustration there. I mean,
It has to be. He's the great. It's the great. That's like
it's the GOAT.
the greatest when villains were scary and movies weren't afraid to scare you with, you know,
The
like
first
he was
time-
so.
The first time I heard that stat that he's only on the screen for like 7 minutes or something like that in the first movie, it's like, oh,
Really?
shit. Yeah, it's like a staggeringly low amount for, you know, how important he is, but it's like he made every single second last. Yeah, that's a good answer.
And rest in peace, David Prowse, who just passed away this week, who was he was inside of the suit and doesn't get enough credit.
It doesn't.
Because I think it's he gets overwhelmed by, you know, James Earl Jones voicing the character, but like him inside the suit, I can't tell you how many times I've watched Empire and I've just put it on mute just to watch how he moves and his hands and the way that the mask moves. And he was brilliant. And they've tried to copy it in other movies. Vader's shown up and it has not been the same because the person inside the suit isn't as good of a movement actor as David Prowse was.
Well, nobody better than you, babe. We appreciate the time as always. Archenemy is the movie, December 11th, and it seems like a wild ride, man. So as always, good on you, and thanks for the time.
Thanks, man.
Go do some meth. Hey, there he is. I love it.
Thanks, Joe.
Have a good one.
I'll see you guys later.
I'm going to hit you with a little YouTube sabermetrics, okay? Only 15% of people who watch the videos on the KFC Radio channel are actually subscribed. That means
you fucking lurkers. I'm
right?
tired. Yeah,
free,
I'm tired of lurkers.
85% freeloaders.
Retweet, like, fucking heart on Instagram.
Rate, review, subscribe.
If you enjoy content, double tap it.
Literally,
double tap to subscribe.
Just click. It doesn't. I think you only have to click it once, not even double.
Well, okay,
just one click.
But I'm not a mathematicien. Just a one click works.
Because I don't want. If you double click, you might subscribe and then unsubscribe.
Oh, true.
So just one click.
Then 3 clicks.
3 clicks to subscribe, because otherwise, I mean, it literally doesn't affect you at all, and it will basically make our careers so much better.
Oh,
Please
so much better.
Do it.
Oh, you'll get us so good.
Please.
You'll get us going
Come on.
85% of you.
Don't be poor.
Triple top. The thing. The subscribe thing.
Smash that button, as they say.